And people just think there's an easy button in business. There is no easy button in business. The work's got to be done. And if you will use some of these methods, like this test method, let the customer know what they're missing out on, because they don't know until they know. And when they see the difference, they're like, oh, yeah, I do need this. Yeah, you took the effort, go ahead. You're not going to call somebody for a second bid when you've already done the test and you're showing them what you can produce. Like, you've proven you got the goods, you can do it. It de-risked the situation for them.
America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
What's up, Blue Collar Millionaires? Back again. Today we're talking about increasing the value, removing the risk, making it easy to choose you. How do you do that?
I like to think about salesmen. Here's the flaw with most people. They think, if you give me the pay, then my work will match it. And it never happens that way. Never. My favorite and best people that have moved up in my organization are the ones that showed me they could do it. And then it was my responsibility to make sure I matched the pay after the fact. Otherwise, I was going to lose them to a competitor. They're going to get poached because people recognize greatness, because it's abnormal to perform at a higher level than what you're being compensated. And commissioned salesmen, that's why they're typically the highest paid individuals inside of an organization when you're straight commission, because they're de-risking it for the owner, and the owner compensates them at a higher rate on the back end because they de-risked it up front. So I remember working at CarMax, and we went through 08 when all of the housing market and the bubble and everything busted, and they started doing layoffs. Like, they sent out this really big video trying to soften the blow in the culture and everything, just saying, hey, we're having to trim some people off because everything slowed down. The economy's at a stall. We're not selling the vehicles that we used to. It has made a massive impact. And for the betterment of everyone, we're having to release someone, but we're giving them a really good severance package. None of the salespeople got cut. You know why? We were all commission. So if we didn't perform, we were cutting ourselves anyway. And that is why we were able to make so much money inside the sales side, because we knew it was based off our performance, and there was no ceiling, because there was zero risk when they hired us. So they were willing to give us more of a bite after we made our sale. So think like a salesman. How can you come in for your customer, for your employer, whatever your case is in journey, whether you own the business or you're working underneath owner, and consider your customers as well? How can you take the risk away so that you can make sure you get the opportunity to show your quality and value? Because when you expect nothing up front and you deliver everything free, your performance free up front, with the promise that you'll get paid on the back end, why would someone not do that? Like, this is why we offer free inspections on certain services, because we know once we get in there and identify the problems, we've already started conversation and rapport is starting to get built. And now we can show them the problems. We can let them know the risk if they delay and defer their maintenance on it. And then we can show them the solution and why they should choose us because of these and these things.
I think for removing risk, here's a couple things you could do. And this is because I started early. Nobody was using credit cards. Of course, there was no Cash App or Venmo. I was doing service jobs, and I was never getting money up front. I was doing jobs, sometimes cutting a lawn 4 times to get paid at the end of the month.
Yeah.
First of all, I had good customers in a high earning area, but I mean, it was so infrequent that I didn't get paid. But people now, like, I had a guy when I was switching landscapers, he sent me like $80. He wanted the $80 before he even showed up. I thought it was wild. It made me feel like you're either broke or I'm unconfident in you. So what I do with, I'm talking about big complexes, $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 cleaning jobs. We tell them it's guaranteed, but it's so strong, the guarantee. Like, at any time, if you're not happy, we'll void the invoice.
Yeah.
They don't even know what to say to that. Like, what do you mean? You just void it? Of course, we're going to have an opportunity to fix it. In all the years of doing that, I start doing that in 2016, I've only had one complex not pay me. Actually took that. Tens of thousands at this point, right?
We give 100% satisfaction guarantee, but you also gave away free
Nice.
services, test
So
trials.
that was another one, is do something for free when you want to get in the door. So I would go to these clubhouses, looking nice, have a nice Gutter King shirt, and I would say, "Hey, I see debris all over your clubhouse. It drives me nuts. I'm gonna clean it real quick." And people are like, Now?" I would have a certificate of insurance, evidence of insurance, and I say, "Yeah, I got workers' comp and everything. Let me just do it for you for nothing,
Mhm.
and I'll shoot you the pictures. What's your email?" I mean, there were some people like, "I don't know if can he do that?" Like, they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I got so much work off that, because then I'd go back to my truck,
Yep.
I'd change my clothes, I'd go clean the gutters really quick, I'd make it perfect, go back, and now I got their email, I'd send them pictures, and I'd start it. I mean, I got so many jobs from that, but I was doing it for free. I mean, was that worth $200? It was really only worth 10 minutes of my
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
but that's how I would do it. But I did that back in the day before. I might cut somebody's lawn for free. I might knock on their door, and I might have 4, and then I wanted their lawn, and maybe the person would say, I think my husband's gonna do it." I say, "Listen, I'm gonna cut it. I'm here right now. I'm gonna make it look great. It's free. If you wanna get on the schedule next week." And what happens is they come out, they wanna pay you.
Yeah.
Back then, almost everybody was trying to give me cash.
Right.
I'm like, "No, it's free. Just get on our schedule." And they're like, "No, no, let me pay you, and I wanna get on your schedule."
Yeah.
They're not used to it, and that was when people weren't taking. Now we look, everybody, like, "I always get 60%.
Yeah.
I don't get in my truck for out
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you getting rich?" It don't
Right.
sound like it to me.
Right. People don't know what they're missing out on. And so the test, when you use the test method, then they get to see, like, there's been times where, so my main business that started funding my lifestyle started out as a cleaning company, a carpet cleaning company. And there was times where I had customers that said, I did not realize my carpet was that color, or my grout lines were that color,
They just
especially grout lines.
Yeah.
They thought they had black grout lines, but we would go in and start to clean them, and they were light gray, and they were even white at
Wow.
times.
Yeah.
And they would stand there in just awe. So just imagine if I was trying to win over this customer and I said, "Hey, no problem. Do you mind if I perform a little test spot over here just so you can see what to expect?" Now they're understanding what they're missing out on, but nobody wants to take the time to do it. And it goes back to just people are extremely lazy. They're not willing to fight for the sale anymore. We've spoke in the past about the effort of cold calling and texting and door knocking and all these other marketing methods. And people just think there's an easy button in business. There is no easy button in business. The work's got to be done. And if you will use some of these methods, like this test method, let the customer know what they're missing out on, because they don't know until they know. And when they see the difference, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I do need this. Yeah, you took the effort. Go ahead." They're not going to call somebody for a second bid when you've already done the test and you're showing them what you can produce. Like, you've proven you got the goods, you can do it. It de-risked the situation for them.
Yeah. We're not saying go around doing stuff for free, but you can mix it in sometimes. And
Absolutely.
the reason I know it worked, because when I was young, I had guys cutting grass, they cut the wrong lawn, and they told me. We had these crazy cell phones back in the 90s. They're like, "Yeah, we did the wrong lawn." So I went over and knocked on that door,
Hmm.
told them, "Hey, we cut your lawn by accident." And then they got on my list. So I was like, maybe I should start cutting lawns by
Yeah.
accident here. It really only took them like 20 minutes to do. But let's talk about some things you can do for customers. Reduce confusion,
Yep.
reduce effort on their end,
Absolutely huge.
reduce risk. How do you do that to make it super easy to just say, "Yes, hire you"?
So the easy button, we want to give the customers the easy button. There's not an easy button in business, but we want the customers to have the easy button. So first thing that comes to my mind is I'm going to tell you to answer the phone when they call. Don't make your customer have to hunt you down to
Oh.
get an answer to their question. When they need a service, they want it right then. There's statistics. It's like the diminishing return as each minute clicks by. So when they call, answer the phone and then give them the answers that they want. And if you can't give the answers without getting out there, then book according to their schedule. Say, "I've got this day. Do you want a morning or an afternoon?" is what we do in our call script. I'm just finding, gauging what portion of the day they're looking for.
Yep.
Okay, does next Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, does that work for you? Well, no, not next Tuesday. What about next Wednesday? I gave them two choices, and then they're leading me down the path. But I know if they want a morning or afternoon. So don't make them have to jump through hoops. If they have to leave you a voicemail so that you will even return a phone call, they're calling the next person
Uh-huh.
because you're asking them to do too much. We are a lazy society. And honestly, if I'm giving my money to you, I should be able to be lazy because I'm asking to pay you to take over a responsibility that I don't want to do. So answer the phone. Don't make them jump through hoops. Don't make them have to leave a voicemail. Don't make them have to be there on site when you show up if that's possible. Find a way to work yourself inside their schedule. People's lives are busy. We
It
fill it full of stuff.
reduce time, reduce pain. If somebody's looking for you, you say, "Well, hey, I can't get there for 6 weeks." What do you think's gonna happen? They just stick with you? I hear people say that like, "Wow, you're booked up 6 weeks." Okay, hire more people so you're booked up 2
Mhm.
weeks.
Mhm.
People and then
Absolutely.
figure out what that sweet spot is. Nobody says you have to be there tomorrow, but I had somebody who messaged my team yesterday. They were like, "Hey, I need this done by the 8th. It's a big complex, 36 buildings." In their mind, they're thinking it might take a week to do.
Right.
We know we're gonna do that in less than 2 days. So my team set their expectations. Hey, as long as we get this approved by Monday, we can get it scheduled here. They send it. They made it easy. Here's the proposal. Here's the references. Here's insurance without even be asked. It was like 45 minutes later, the person was like, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
make it easy. Or we could have made it hard for them.
Don't make them have to call you and tell you how to do your job. Don't have callbacks. Have a checklist that your team follows. Have before pictures, have after pictures, have a quality checkup because as soon as your customer has to tell you how to do the job, you've created more effort on their end. First of all, most people do not like confrontation. So the effort they're having to put in to be able to make the phone call to you and say, hey, this was not done right. This mess was left behind in the process of them doing this. They don't want to have that conversation
Yeah.
and pay you. Like, what are you expecting? A happy customer after? So build a process, a system that ensures quality and ensures consistent quality on every job. Train your people, onboard them. Don't hire them, stick them with the person and say, I train them. Let them have some classroom training, some virtual training, on the job experience training, and then also have those pictures and after videos. My team will sit there and do before pictures. They do a scope video. So they walk through, we can see what's happening. Then they do after photos and they do an after video. Well, Chris, that's a lot of documentation. You damn right it is.
It is.
But at the same time, we have 5-star reviews, multiple hundreds of 5-star reviews. And it's because we build that system in. And every new hire that comes in, it's just part of the job. Now, when I first started implementing that, I got a little backlash. And you know what? None of those people are with me at this point. Over the next year, 2 years, they ended up phasing out because they weren't willing to change. And so now that we've got a culture that breeds excellence and keeps the bar really high, every new person coming in, that's the standard.
There's so much that could be learned about Amazon, the company, and then the Amazon culture, because that's what we're in right now.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to move. But I do so much of this in my own companies. But think about it. You order something on Amazon, you know exactly when it's coming. You get an email, you get an alert, you know it's coming. If you want to set up text things, that's what people want. They want to know. They want confirmation. So, like the same thing with us. We're sending pictures out after jobs. We don't have to or tell you, we're letting you know it's done. Here's the pictures. Here's how you can pay us. Even when we onboard people and it gets approved, we have something that goes, what you can expect
Yeah.
for new things. I appreciate when I get stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, this person's going to do this, this, and this. This is what I got to do. I don't want to be guessing and asking, calling.
Takes the question mark out of it. You answer the questions before they have to ask. My local delivery company, they have a tracker, Domino's. Everybody knows that tracker. They sat there and they thought, starving college kids, hungover, 2 a.m. The pizza wasn't even that great. The Domino's story. They found out how to solve the pain point. I'm hungry, college kids, where's my pizza? They stick a tracker on it.
I know.
Delivered in less than, what was it, 30 minutes, something
Yeah.
like that. And so you literally can see it being prepped in the oven, in the car, on the way kind of thing, watching the tracker. And that's what got them the revenue coming in the door. And then they started perfecting the pizza.
Yeah.
And they got the pizza to a standard to where it's one of the better pizzas now. Take the question mark away. When people know exactly what's happening, they trust you more.
When I was 16, I worked in a pizza place and we got calls every night. Where's my pizza? Are they on the way? And then I'd be like, yeah, you left like 10 minutes ago. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they just figured it out. They saved so much time because I'm sure they were getting calls.
Oh, yeah.
Those college kids are drunk. They're like,
Yeah.
"Where's my
Yeah,
pizza?"
absolutely.
Just let them know. They could look at their phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next week, what are we gonna be talking about? Relationship capital?
Oh, man, this is gonna be a good one. Y'all better not miss this one because this is personally, I know it's changed my life. This is why me and Kevin are in business together because of relationship capital. So see you guys next week, bluecollarmillionaire.net. Bluecollarmillionaire.net. You can find every resource that we have available. Make sure you tune in. Let's make 2025 a successful year.